everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Going Deeper edition. And we decided on this Going Deeper to do our intro with our guests. Sometimes we do them after we record. We just decided to wing it.
Okay, yeah.
And you hear one of our guests, Erika Priscilla.
Yes.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. And her fiance, Scott.
Yes.
Scott,
Thank you for having
I
me.
just call you Scott.
That's it. That's it.
Scott,
I don't even have a
that's
last
it.
name.
You
That's
don't.
it. Just
Just
Scott.
like a Scott.
The
Madonna.
driver's license just says Scott.
You can
We're
add
gonna
a
get
Y.
married,
Will
it's
you
just
be
gonna
taking
Erika.
Priscilla's last name?
If she wants me to.
How do you feel
Whatever
about
she
that?
wants. I mean,
I
honestly,
don't want it.
yeah, I feel
You
good.
traditional that
Yeah.
way?
Honestly, if like she had an issue with it, then we would talk about it from there. But it's like,
I used to care about that shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
yeah, that's why I don't know. Whatever she felt comfortable
I
with
like
is
his
fine
last
with me.
name. It goes better with my name, Erika Carizzi. Sounds nice. It's
Ooh.
great.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Cute.
But it's just put my
Yeah.
last name out there. Then imagine. No, I'm joking.
You
Look
both-
him up.
You both have nice last names.
Thank you.
Well, Priscilla is actually my middle name. My last name is not so cute.
Not so cute.
Burrito.
Burrito.
There's no U.
That's
It's-
the normal response.
There's
That's the
no
normal
U,
response.
but yeah,
Burrito
essentially
immediately.
burrito.
Immediately.
Yes.
Again, I
So
I don't love my last name, and yet I am now stuck with it.
Do you
Viall.
want Natalie to take your last name?
She wants to.
Okay.
Although I guess she goes by Natalie Joy, so it wouldn't be like a huge, you know what I mean? No one would know.
I think I have no problem. We actually talked about this last week. I have she's on the gram. She's got a TikTok.
Yeah.
She's got a public persona at this point.
She does.
I don't
course.
expect her to like change it
Yeah.
publicly.
right.
Like
I
if we
won't.
got married, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like the day after, I'd be like, all right, let's upgrade that Instagram. Like
update that bio.
you know, like I would advocate for her to do what she wants,
Yeah.
and I would be like, I don't know, Natalie Joy sounds a little better.
Yeah, there's a ring to it.
So
you know?
I feel like
Yeah,
You
it
know.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Whatever
Yeah.
you feel comfortable
How
with.
early into meeting someone do you do the thing where you test out your name with their last name?
Maybe within
first
4
date,
hours.
yeah.
Ooh, I would say so.
4 hours,
Yeah.
maybe.
that was I learned that women do that like in college.
I just learned it now. I
And-
just done.
Oh my
I
god,
was like,
yeah, I would do that all the time. I thought it was only
That's
me.
when I became
No, I do it-
self-conscious. Yeah.
It's got to make sense. It's got to fit. You
Yeah,
can't
for
have
sure.
it.
Yeah, and you like you do it like you're like I know I shouldn't be doing this, but
But
Wedding
Yeah.
hashtags too. Like if they have a name that like sounds close to something.
that's I like it. You raised it, Allie.
Yeah,
there are
beautiful.
certain last
Immediately
names
to
where it's
marriage.
just easy. It's
Yeah.
just like I already had it in my mind.
I'm always just like, why are you doodling my first name and your first name and my last name together? It's like
well,
that's weird.
we need to make sure it makes sense.
Got to
I-
fit.
Do you guys watch Selling Sunset?
I do.
Or
Yes.
did you watch the reunion?
I sure did.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Thoughts? Happy for Chriselle.
Mm-hmm.
Jason crying.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was a little emotional.
That was
Like
rough.
You believed it.
here's the thing. I didn't believe
It's
Brett.
it's just a discussion that's going out.
I didn't believe Brett. Like when Brett just started crying.
Oh, they were both. Oh, maybe it's just because I can't really tell them a difference.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Well, they're twins,
I was like, oh,
so-
he's just crying a lot.
I don't know. And he was like, I need a second. I get it, but I would also argue like, why would you just pretend? You know?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why?
Now you're swaying me.
Yeah, now
I-
you
I
got me,
rewatched
but-
TV.
I'm not, it's a discussion people are having. We're
Oh, I
just
didn't
here
know.
to like
Yeah, we're just putting
bring
it out
up
there.
these discussions that people are paying attention to, like. You know, whether their relationship was real. We had Mary here
yeah, I
on
saw
an
that.
episode,
yeah,
and
yeah.
she very much advocated for the authenticity of that relationship. She really
Oh, that's good.
got behind it.
Mhm.
I remember when it first came out, though. This was before this season. Everyone was not buying it. Like
Like
no
their
one
Well,
was
they put it
buying
on
their
Instagram.
relationship.
Suddenly they were traveling in Europe, and then they
That's
posted
when it
that
was the
photo
boat
of them
on the
the
boat.
boat, like embracing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little awkward. That's
Yeah.
why I think people were like,
And I feel like people,
Yeah.
when it came to the reunion, when discussing their breakup, it sometimes it's just like you talk about getting back together, you talk about all this love. I think he referred to Chriselle as the love of his
life.
life.
He did.
I feel like they dated for
A matter of months.
I
Month?
know. See, I don't know.
Yeah.
I,
I thought
guess,
it was like 5
yeah.
months.
Now
So
that you say it
there were
again, it
parts.
sounds
Crazy.
wild.
for me, and again, like I consider Chriselle a friend. I don't know anything about him.
Jason.
But I'm going to take my friend's word.
Yeah.
But I'm just objectively wondering, and again, everyone handles things differently. But like, I guess the stakes of which they talk about the relationship, and then they talk about how it's like they kind of talk about it. Well, could he want to have kids, and he says he wants to be a good father, but she needs to know now, and then. Chriselle is in a new relationship.
Yes.
I don't know how if they're family planning, if they're talking about having kids. So it's just
Chriselle said that she said that they're living their best rock star life. So it didn't sound like G-Flip was wanting a kid.
Well, it's also new, I'm sure, for Chriselle. So I'm sure she's just trying to enjoy it, and maybe.
Well, I mean, if someone said they were in a 6-month relationship, wouldn't you call that new too?
Right, but I'm saying exploring a different
and they work together. Like
relationship.
they had so much of a foundation built up from working together and from
Right.
knowing each other as like business
That's
partners.
what I mean. It's like they weren't just together for 5 months. They knew each other. I guess they became friends
Also, Chriselle
first.
even said
first.
she was like, I have taken the pressure off of myself because she was so dedicated to having kids. That's why they broke up. But she said at the reunion, she's like, I took the pressure off myself. I'm opening up to possibilities of adoption. Like maybe I don't have to like carry my own kids.
Right.
So that opens the door not only to other options, but also for her timetable as well.
Right.
Because she could adopt in 5 years when maybe she couldn't get pregnant in 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I hope she's happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all that matters.
That's rough though, because like now she's rethinking it, but that was like what caused them to break up.
I know.
right?
So poor Jason's
Right.
like, wait.
Yeah, he's
Excuse
like, wait.
me?
Oh, if you're rethinking it, like maybe we can.
Well,
so that's rough.
from his point of view, it'd be like, well, I could lead a rock star life. I've seen him out
He's
at the
like,
clubs.
I am.
Like, I do.
Yeah.
Jason's learning
He's like,
the
that's
drums.
he's like, that's what I was trying to
I
do.
have been practicing.
He does like an Australian accent.
A huge wig
Yeah.
on, like
Yeah.
super
No,
long.
I get he's definitely thinking about this and being like, what the fuck, kind of. But I mean, I don't know how much time has happened between, what aired and their actual breakup and the reunion. So I don't know. Maybe she's just changed her mind. You can change your mind. You're allowed to just move on.
Of course, yeah.
So
And listen, we also all give reasons for why we broke up with someone.
right.
And at the end of the day, sometimes those are just like, well, they might be reasons, but also excuses, because maybe at the end of the day, it's just like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have a hard time explaining, let alone to the people we're breaking up with, let alone like an entire like audience that feels like justifiable, because we always feel like we have to explain ourselves.
Right.
Especially like when you're in a public relationship. You're not only in a relationship with your partner, you're in a relationship with your audience.
Yes.
Right.
Like they are part of that relationship. And
Yeah.
so fans of the relationship will feel a sense of like justification, demanding answers as to why that relationship no longer exists. So I can totally empathize with Chriselle and Jason from that end of feeling like, especially Chriselle, of like, I have to give this reason
Right.
to you and the audience, and even to Jason. We always want to have a reason, but sometimes it's just like, I don't know,
Or
I
it just didn't
don't
work
want
out.
to be
Yeah.
in the relationship with you.
Yeah. Normalize saying that though,
100.
We don't
We
need
try
it.
to
Yeah.
all the time on this
We
show.
don't need
Yeah.
a reason. We can things just don't work out sometimes.
I
you know?
completely agree.
But
And
like you were saying, I agree with you fully. Like, because then they're dealing with people saying like, oh, so it's just like it meant nothing if you feel nothing. Like they have to
Yeah.
give excuses for it to
People
make it
love
seem
to,
like
like,
it was.
they love to their lack of not wanting to accept something being over, they'll turn that into an accusation of you not giving me the closure that I deserve.
And then there's rumors.
They didn't give me closure. I never got the
Yeah.
closure from them. They just moved on, et cetera, et cetera. And we will make our exes look a certain way because we don't want to accept their decision to no longer be with us.
Right.
And how many of us have done that? I mean,
Yeah.
I've done that with people who broke up with me, or have taken the side of friends being like, yeah, fuck them. They didn't appreciate. Like, we always want to be in
Right,
support
of
of
course,
our friends.
of course. You need to
But
be on
yeah,
the side.
we don't have to justify ending a relationship to the, like, we have the freedom to leave. Brooklinen, the internet's favorite sheets. Well, they're my favorite sheets. I know that much. It truly is the world's best sheets. when you consider all the variables to consider. One, they're the most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. They also have duvet comforters. They have robes, hand towels, bath towels. And again, the loungewear is the softest loungewear, like sweatpants, t-shirts, Henleys, hoodies, zip-ups. It's incredible. They have so much. They're best in show. And then they're, again, incredibly affordable. I don't know why they don't cost more. They don't, but they should, in my personal opinion.
There's little things when you're first dating someone, hooking up with someone new.
Those sheets though, they're like
you notice the little things, and having good sheets is classy.
Yeah,
class
pet peeve
act
of mine.
move.
Listen, they're amazing. If you get Brooklinen, you won't regret it. Go to brooklinen.com and use promo code VIALL to get $20 off your purchase of $100 or more. That's BROOKLINEN.com and enter promo code VIALL for $20 off your purchase today. Brooklinen, the curators of comfort. Vizzy! Get your hard seltzer on and get those antioxidant vitamin C's to go with it. It's delicious, it's bold, it's fruit flavored, it's awesome, it's Vizzy. Also, Vizzy now has your, for all you mimosa lovers out there, Vizzy just launched its first nationwide mimosa hard seltzer. Vizzy has taken the classic OJ and champagne duo to a new level by creating a hard seltzer inspired by classic cocktails. Vizzy Mimosa Hard Seltzer is made with real OJ and is going to come in 4 delicious flavors: strawberry orange, pineapple orange, peach orange, and pomegranate orange. My favorite being strawberry orange, of course. They also have amazing flavors like black cherry lime, strawberry kiwi, pineapple mango. I love the black cherry lime. Papaya passion fruit's also tasty. All their flavors are delicious. And you also get those antioxidants and vitamin C. So have fun. Do a little healthiness to your body while you're at it. And get your drink on.
So over the weekend, my friend had a birthday party down in Huntington Beach. And I was not driving, so I decided to start the party early. And while I was doing my hair and makeup, I had a little mimosa Vizzy. And then I brought the rest of the pack to all of my friends.
To find out where you can purchase Vizzy, go to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/VIALL. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/VIALL. To get updates on your latest flavor drops and more, sign up for their emails at VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. Must be 21 years or older.
And to the point of closure, a TikTok that changed my life was just like the disrespect is the closure. Like the thing that closes the relationship, that shifts the vibes, that make it so that way like you lose the attachment and like love you have for this person. Like that is the closure. Like as much as you want like this like well-packaged explanation of what's happened, like you're not going to get that.
And Nick always says too, he's like, everyone always says like, oh, I need closure from this person. You don't get it from the other person. You get it from yourself and like from moving on.
Like what you like, you don't need closure. You want access to them.
Exactly.
I'll give you closure. Imaginary person.
I was like, what's happening?
End the engagement now.
I'll give you closure.
No, I'll just be
Erika
like-
cheated on you. What do you mean?
I'll just be like, let's just pretend the person, your ex, because there's always this fear of like, well, could they be dating someone or are they in a relationship? I'm like, let's just assume no. They just don't want to be with you.
Right.
So I'll give you closure. The idea of anything but you sounds better to them.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Even
to
being
hear.
alone, you know? Yeah.
Do you want to be with that person?
No.
It's
The
an
answer
easy
should be
The
no.
answer should be
Yeah,
no.
easy
You
answer.
should be able to, it's like taking a hint, you know? Like you want to find, like, there's got to be something. There's got to be another person, just like you said. There's got to be, did I do something wrong?
Exactly. You just need a reason, because even when you are saying, okay, I'm not feeling it, let's say we break up, it's just not working out. It's so hard. Your mind will just go a million times an hour just thinking of why.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
it
yeah, and,
me?
like,
Is it
that's
the
your
way I
ego
look? Is it the
coming
way
in.
I
Yeah.
So it's hard.
See what I loved what we did here?
Yeah.
We questioned the authenticity of a relationship that we wanted to believe was real.
Mhm.
But we still were like, is it though? We
Yeah.
questioned it, and now we get to this very believable and understanding solution. Of course they are. They must be, because they're truthful people. And even though the holes that we poked in it, now we have explained as you don't have to have a reason, but it understands why we give reasons. So like it makes sense why she's in the relationship she's in and no longer with Jason, even though those things, there seems to be a disconnect. Oh, look at us.
It's also reality TV too, so it's like they need a storyline. So it's like you need a reason.
That's why I always try to believe.
The
Like,
reunion would be short.
like, people are like asking about Bachelor stuff. And they're like, is this happening? This is like, it is a show.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's not forget.
Please do not forget.
It is a TV show.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's not a documentary.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
watch reality TV like it's a documentary and then get mad, and it's like it is not that yet.
Those cameras are set up before we walk in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm a really boring person. Like, if you
Need a story.
don't want me to like, add some like flavor.
Yeah.
Speaking of, sorry, I was going to segue. But
Speaking
go.
of flavor.
Well, I was just gonna say it's on Chris. It's selling sunset related.
Hold that
so.
segue, Allie. Get ready.
Speaking of flavor, Cool
Primed up.
Ranch. We still hate it. We
Like, hold the
still
segue,
hate
be
Cool
like,
Ranch.
yeah.
No, shut the fuck up.
Well, I was just gonna say, in response to both like the TikTok that we posted of Mary like discussing her reaction to Chriselle not being at the reunion, and just like in general, Christine, excuse me.
Yeah.
There's been like a lot of this, like there's been this like back and forth debate of like people like condemning her behavior, but then other people being like, but you wouldn't have a show without this.
Yeah, exactly.
That is also
We need the drama. You know?
the truth.
Well, no, that's 100% the true. All that happens on The Bachelor too, and also where I still want to get Christine on this show whenever she decides she wants to speak her truth. And the side of Christine that I will always have empathy for, because I had been in that position, and for all you Bachelor fans out there who just lost their mind anytime I suggested that Shanae from last season, like, I wasn't ready to just like condemn as like a truly disgusting human being because of things we saw on TV, is that like in reality TV households or like Office, like there's this like group mentality against an individual.
Yeah.
And maybe the group is overly like is right. Maybe they are justified in their frustrations, for certainly like the original frustration, but like that mob mentality does exist. And then like you start like piling on, and you feel, and like sometimes you overstep, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And then when you reach that point where like if you're that one person who like you get in this fight or flight situation,
You're the villain,
and you fight back sometimes, and then it becomes like, and people understand and like we usually expect people in those situations, weirdly enough, to like fall on the sword and to just admit you were wrong.
Right.
But like it's not that easy to do, and when people like cross that line of going beyond saying you hurt me or you did this, and they start giving the same medicine that maybe you started, and they start throwing stones, and they start judging your character and saying things like, it's natural to fight back.
Of course.
Right.
And I do think what we're seeing on Selling Sunset to a certain degree has been even some of our fan favorites maybe kind of going beyond the point of defending themselves and maybe piling on a little bit. I don't know, but like I do think it's, again, we always hear there's two sides to every story,
right.
and you've heard a lot of the Selling Sunset cast try to like almost like out loud, like, we used to be friends with her and we used to really enjoy it. It's just different now, and that all might be true, but maybe this environment that you guys are a part of has played a role in her, like, this is how this world affected her,
like reactionary. Some of her behavior, it could have been there from the start, but then some of it is also reactionary to the way you're treating her. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes. And so I would really love to hear from Christine in terms of how she has felt in these situations. And it was interesting here on the reunion that she at least texted some of them, apologies or some like a different side, which would, they decided not to accept it because it wasn't in person. I understand to a certain level, but that acceptance of what at least what we saw she texted or heard what she texted, to me would explain that, to me that looks like a person who they clearly know that they're doing shit too, but in the moment they're fighting back. They're defending themselves, and maybe poorly so, but it's not like they're just completely delusional and crazy and just have a horrible soul and just trying to hurt people. So anyways, Christine, you're welcome to come on and talk some shit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't know if she's told her side really.
I don't think she really has.
So,
and it sounds like maybe it's like she's off. She doesn't work there, but she's not off the show. No. She's too valuable.
No, she can't.
Way.
That's her brand. Like the show is her brand.
Also, I don't know how the cast feels, but I don't think they want her off the show.
No.
Because if she's not on the show,
what
Like
do
half
they
of-
have?
someone's going to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
You have to get the drama somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
And that like self-fulfilling prophecy, it's like in Bachelor World, they just smell blood.
Yeah, it's like we need a common enemy.
Who's the weakest link?
Yeah,
Oh my
like
God. That is scary.
who's annoyed us the most? And they're not no one's saying this out loud.
But we could see
No
it.
one's
You could see
acknowledging it, but you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
once
We
one
hate her,
person,
right? Like,
yeah,
it's like-
exactly.
it's
Once
like-
one person points, everyone else is like,
Like-
"Oh my God, you're right."
like you're eating the buffet and someone just goes for seconds before people got there first, and everyone's like, that was some fucked up shit.
Did you see what you just did?
Did you see that shit? Hey, your gut health, super important. And the thing about probiotics is that there's a lot of bad probiotics out there. It's like the vitamin community. Don't just assume, just because it's called a vitamin, that it's a quality vitamin and that it's going to do what it needs to do. Is it absorbed properly in your body? That matters. And when it comes to probiotics, having prebiotic also plays a role on whether it actually gets to where it needs to go and then does the work. I mean, there's a lot of science behind it. I'm not smart enough to totally understand it, but I do know that Seed is doing great things in the probiotic department because I feel a difference after I use it. And you should actually feel something, at least to some degree. Seed's DS1 Daily Symbiotic is the real deal. A broad spectrum 2-in-1 probiotic plus prebiotic, a proprietary formulation of 24 distinct probiotic strains in scientifically studied dosages. Proprietary engineered 2-in-1 capsule that protects probiotics through digestion to ensure delivery to the colon. If you've taken a probiotic before and never felt a difference, it's likely because the good bacteria wasn't surviving your GI tract. Seed designed differently, and that's why it works. So start your new healthy habit today. Visit seed.com/VIALL. Use our code VIALL to redeem 20% off your first month of Seed's DS01 Daily Symbiotic. That's seed.com/VIALL and use code VIALL. No one knows what you're looking for and a doctor better than you. That's right. And no one's better at giving you the tools to find the perfect doctor than Zocdoc. Hey, we all know how frustrating it can be finding the perfect doctor. There's so many variables that go into it. Do they take your insurance? Is there a right fit? Both personality, expertise. How are other patients' experience been with these doctors? These are like important bits of information that are incredibly and surprisingly hard to find. But not with Zocdoc. Zocdoc is giving you all this information. Amanda, part of this team has used Zocdoc, swears by it.
I legitimately used Zocdoc last week to book a dent because I need a dentist on the east side because I'm not going to the west side. And it was so nice because I type in, I put in the exact insurance, not just the overall company, but I have a specific insurance through my dad. They had the exact thing listed. And then from there on map view, I could see various doctors, hover over them, see what their ratings were and make sure they were in network, et cetera, et cetera. And then booked an appointment right then and there, received a follow-up from the doctor's office. It's so easy.
I know there's people listening to this podcast right now that have noticed something or felt something weird and thought to themselves, I should probably get this looked at, and you've avoided it, maybe just because you don't know who to go to. So for you, if you're those people, or if you're like me, you're a little hypochondriac, you have a little anxiety about something, and you just need that peace of mind, well, the good news is if you want to do this, Zocdoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. Read up on local doctors, get verified patient reviews, and see the other real humans that had to say about the doctor you might go visit. Go to Zocdoc.com, choose a time slot, and whether you want to see the doctor in person or do a video visit, and just like that, you're booked. Go to Zocdoc.com/VIALL and download the Zocdoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/VIALL, Zocdoc.com/VIALL.
Tayshia's been posting some cute photos. She was looking good. She posted a few from the same little outfit moment. And someone commented, so nice that you're in a happy place. You do you. You took a detour from the road you were on of wanting to be married and starting a family. It's not for everyone, so it's good that you realize your career is more important before you got married. Can you imagine how much more difficult that would have made things?
Hands up emoji.
Hands
support.
up emoji.
Which... that was felt aggressive.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's coming from a fan.
She could have stopped the first sentence.
The big question is not how it was received, because yeah, there's some like almost comes across as passive aggressive potentially.
It is.
But do you think her intent was to be passive aggressive?
Yes.
You do.
That's the hard problem with these comments.
Like Erika said, she could have stopped with the
She
first line.
like, I think that was just too much. Like, she went into detail, like,
way too much.
It was just like, Tayshia's online. It's like, everyone knows what's happening, you know? So there was no reason to add everything else, I feel like. You realize your career is more important. Like, you don't know that.
That's what I was saying.
Did she say that?
No,
I'm getting angry. Get Tayshia in here.
Is this on your page? Did they comment on this?
No, but like, yeah. Do you think I get the impression that while listen, lots of times people have come up to me and I think they are trying to be nice, but I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you could have said it a different way.
Like back in the day when I was on The Bachelor, like when I went from like villain to like more popular, a common thing because people wanted to relate to me, they would say, you know, like I like you. I'm like, great, but like, I'm the only one of my friends that likes you.
Awesome.
Everyone fucking hates you, but I am your fan. And
you're like, wow.
In their mind, I get it. They want to like connect with me. Like they're showing me like some loyalty that they've been in my corner.
That they will defend you to the naysayers.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
I'm thinking like you really didn't need to fucking say that.
Right.
Fuck you.
Maybe word vomit though.
Yeah.
When you're typing something,
and I'm like,
you
cool.
can see.
So
you can edit.
And all I'm saying is when I read this message, that's what I'm reading, right?
I can see
someone who like actually maybe someone who has got out of a relationship herself, who put a lot of value in like what it meant for her to be married in a relationship and the value she derived from that, only to pivot and then really focus on her career. And maybe she's a huge fan of Tayshia and she is loving what she is interpreting from Tayshia, even though that's not what Tayshia is trying to demonstrate to her audience.
Right.
I can see that.
Like that's how I'm reading it.
I can see that.
I think the line that like really makes it passive aggressive for me is that it's not for everyone. Like this, like it's
right.
not.
That is a wild.
It's like not for everyone.
Because I think if you took that out, if you were like, hey, like good for you, like you don't have to be on this cookie cutter path of marriage and kids, like prioritize your career, like do what you want. But it's like it's not for everyone.
What do we always say, or at least what I always say? We don't
read things in the mood we're in, not in the mood
of course.
they sent.
We don't read texts and how we send them. So she could be in a mood of
I feel like Nick is like a second grade teacher. He's like, what do we always
He's like,
say?
let's go sentence by sentence. How do we feel?
Use context clues.
Almost.
He had to add, he's like, praise hand emojis.
Keep going.
Should I not say? Should I change the way I say that?
No,
I
it's great.
thought it was great.
It's a great line. It's a great line.
I'd love to hear what she.
I could. You could read it where she could just be again. Maybe she's someone who that's where she got her value, and she is giving herself permission to say, you know, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Like I used to act like it was for everyone, and I always feel like it wasn't for me. And it's like, you know how we're in like our families will be like, so I ain't in a relationship yet, and it makes you feel like you need to be in a relationship, even though you're like, I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying fucking around, right? And so maybe it's her projecting. Her giving herself permission that it's not for everyone. You know what I'm saying? And so we could easily read it as passive aggressive or condescending. I'm just saying like, it's just always interesting in how we interpret it. Do we think she was at the same time while responding to this fan of hers, take this opportunity to shed some light on her relationship with Zach from her point of view?
Oh, I mean, definitely like she mentioned like find someone supportive of me and stuff like that was all intentional.
What do we think of that approach?
I mean, did we get much information regarding their breakup?
Zach has been quiet as a mouse.
He's always kind of been quiet though. He's
Correct,
never wanted the life that Tayshia had.
That's at least what he's been quiet, so we can only assume.
But I don't know
Tayshia
that
hasn't
she's
spoken too much. She's said she's made some comments, which would therefore be more than Zach. But I think both of them have been relatively respectful of the other person. I think for the most part, there hasn't been any, like notable comments. But this does seem to be people are, and that's maybe why people are fixated on it, because there hasn't been a lot of information out there.
That's
so they're trying to
asked,
gleaning for information. But we can only interpret it as a dig at Zach, can we not?
I mean, that's
Now that you say it, yeah.
right. Right, of course.
Like I need someone supportive would she say they're chasing dreams while I'm doing the same, right? And then we're cheering each other on. So maybe he wasn't, right? Like,
well, I mean, again,
Throwing
from her point of view, I mean, it's when accusations like that I think are tricky because they're so subjective.
Yeah.
To like how we feel about certain situations, like. By all accounts, Zach has been, again, quiet. Again, the expectation when it comes to going on The Bachelor, like a trope of the show, is the right reasons, right? Are you here for the right reasons? You're here to find love. Are you really here to find love? Are you here to be famous? And the past several years with the launch of social media and people going out and having some success, there's been a level of acceptance for some of us to go out there. It's just like, hey, we all know it, just own up and say it. And like, depending on the season or the editing, we kind of decide when we want to make it a thing and when we want to not make it a thing, right? But I'm just saying, from Zach's point of view, wouldn't it be understandable if he was like, not to sound corny, but like, I came here for love.
Right.
And since we got together, like every week you're doing this thing, which I want to support you, but like, could we maybe just slow things down and focus on our relationship, which would also be justifiable? So couldn't it also just be two people who maybe had different expectations and different priorities, is a very common thing when you meet on The Bachelor and you don't talk about things like expectations.
Yeah.
And the day-to-day life, like what those expectations look like in daily behavior.
You don't talk about any of that shit while getting to know. You take a massive leap of faith, which is hoping some of the more like minute, like things that really make a relationship go on a daily basis. Like you just hope that like that works out. And maybe it's just two people who weren't compatible.
Very true.
Right. So
great take.
I don't know, but it was an interesting, she said some light on a relationship we haven't got a lot of light on, and now the next question is, will more like because sometimes when you open up that you break the seal, you peel back a layer, more unfolds. Will Zach be prompted to like respond either directly or indirectly? Will more information come to light from this fan's what I perceive to be like awkward support of Tayshia and meant I feel like what that fan did would be the equivalent of what, like, they'll go up to Ben Higgins and say, I never thought you were boring.
By the way.
And it's just a weird thing some fans do to try to connect with certain people. And in my opinion, that's what that fan was doing with Tayshia.
Speaking of responding,
we got
office hours. All right. Do you know what office hours is?
No.
All right. So we started this new segment. We have mediation. We have office hours. We had a mediation lined up, but
duty called. Like literally duty called.
He's in the armed forces and duty called.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we also have office hours where people will call in with a text conversation they are in the midst of.
Ooh.
And they do not know how to craft with confidence their next message.
Okay, I like that.
We let them out.
Fun.
So we are here.
Fun.
We also try to get them to pull the trigger and send the text.
Hey.
Love that.
Which they did last week after they got off the call and secured a date.
Whoa.
Oh, fun.
Congratulations, whoever that is.
Great track record.
Let's bring them on. Let's bring them on. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm 22.
Hi, Emily.
Yeah, and I need some advice.
Hey.
All right. So bring us up to speed with how you got, who are you texting with? What's the relationship? And how did this conversation get started?
So he is my guy friend. I moved to a new city about a year ago. Well, we all did. And we can call him Alex.
Okay.
And so we're in the same friend group, but we don't really have like a super close separate relationship. So we do see each other a lot, but always in a group setting. And like when I met him a year ago or so, was interested in like hooking up with him, but I kind of just wanted to establish friendship. So I kind of just like forgot about it. And then I guess I don't really know what happened. Something came over me. And last weekend, I drunkenly made a move and it worked. And we ended up hooking up. And the next morning, things were like normal and natural. And we were like joking around and we were like cuddling. And then he drove me home. And then we kissed goodbye, which was like weird, but didn't feel weird. And then the next, like a few hours later, I guess, I was kind of talking to like my friends about it and thinking about it. And I was like, I would do it again, like sober, and see if there's anything there. And the experience kind of indicated to me that he would do it again. Like there wasn't anything that signs he gave me that he was like, this was a huge mistake and this is really awkward and weird. So I texted him and was like, what are you doing tonight? And he had a friend visiting. So he was like, we're just laying low and recovering. And I was like, I want to just be straightforward. So I texted him back and was like, okay, cool. Well, if you want to have sex later, let me know. And I think that we could do a better job.
Did you say sex?
Yeah. She said, so true. If you want to have sex later, let me know. I think we could do a better job.
Okay.
You said, I'm so unwell. It's been a rough morning. What are you up to tonight? You write back. He says his friend and him are keeping it pretty low key. He's still recovering. You wrote, so true. You got right to the point. If you want to have sex later. How quickly in unison did you send them? Because you go, so true. And then you said, if you want to have sex. Then you sent that. And then you wrote later.
Immediately.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know.
They're all immediate.
Let me know. I think we could do a better job. Wow, straight to the point.
Okay.
Shoot.
I'll let you know where we end up later. Ooh, God.
I know.
That's where we're at. How long ago was it? Was this yesterday?
Last weekend. So not this past weekend, the weekend before.
There's been no contact?
No contact whatsoever. So I didn't respond. And then he never reached out. And then normally we see each other every weekend. So I was like, all right, I'm going to see him in a group setting. He went to visit his family this weekend. So
and that's a coincidence, right? You're not getting in your head that like he
he ran away.
I gotta get out of town. I gotta get out of town.
It was planned.
No, he had
it was for Mother's Day.
Okay.
I knew it ahead of time.
Yes.
So I have not talked to him since. And I've talked to like his friends and roommates, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
Interesting. What are your thoughts? I have thoughts.
I mean, I think you did. I think you did great with the whole situation. I think you did great. I don't think you.
I'm happy you didn't text him after, like, so where'd you end up? Because then, then I would feel more like I would have that gut, feeling also. But I think where you ended it was fine. Like, if he didn't respond, that's fine. You don't know if he got drunk or if they didn't go anywhere. Like, you don't know.
Maybe he's nervous.
Exactly.
Maybe he doesn't know how to respond.
Maybe his friend always gives him shit for like ditching him for a girl.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. And I think it's just a coinkydink that you did not see him this weekend. Yeah. But I think that because you guys are already seeing each other always in group settings, I don't think it'll be weird. I always think like if you don't make it weird, it's not going to be weird. Yeah. Like, if he wants to make it weird, then that's fine. But I say you just go about it, go with the flow. I would not continue maybe to like reach out again in that manner. Just because I feel like he didn't respond to that. So I just wouldn't push that. But I wouldn't feel weird about like seeing him again or whatever. You guys tried. You kissed the next morning while you were both sober. Like, it was fine. And it is what it is.
When I'm looking at this, I do think a couple things too. Like, tell me what you think about this, Scott. I think as foreign as it is for women to start like saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna go out there. Like, I like sex. Like, hey, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to have sex again, let me know. Like, fuck, great, guys. I think we're often like sometimes wish we don't know what to say, so we want to be like, I just want to say I want to have sex. Is that okay?
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, can I be that kind of crude?
100%.
Guys want to do that. But weirdly enough, I think it's also sometimes weird for us to hear it. Yeah. Because it's also weird to say it. So when he says, wow, straight to the point, I think he's really being honest by like being caught off guard. And I think sometimes guys can also get in their head about like, and I think they can have maybe thoughts about like just being uncomfortable with it being different, not because it's wrong or anything like that. They're just like not used to someone saying that and they're a little caught off guard. And then so like the fact that he just changes the subject, I think it's just more about like him. It could easily mean he doesn't know how to respond. So he's just changing like the subject by saying, well, we'll let you know where we end up. And then there's no communication. Technically, it's your turn to respond and you don't, right? So when you don't, immediately he's just like, well, this would be an awkward conversation to pick back up for anyone. And just kind of like last week with your date and our last call last week, it was they didn't know how to respond, so they didn't. So I feel like the guy in all those situations just didn't. This is all to say is that I agree with Erika and Scott is that like I think this situation is totally fine and incredibly salvageable. And so like I think the next text to him, it could be just assume you're starting a new conversation, completely restart it, knowing that this is here, but don't be embarrassed by the fact that like you're going to start a new conversation, but all he has to do is look up and you see do you want to have sex later? Let me know text. I think is totally fine. You've had sex.
For sure.
You've seen each other naked.
And
like,
also, you said like, if you want to have sex, you didn't say like, I can't wait to eat your ass from the back. Like it was like you said sex. It wasn't like
it's not crazy.
You are going crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So don't feel embarrassed
I
that
think,
you said the word sex.
I think, just own it. Like you're the one who's just like, it's fucking sex. Who gives a shit? And like, and the fact if he decides he doesn't want to have sex with you, like it doesn't have to be necessarily a rejection. Maybe it's a guy who's just like, I don't know, I'm not super into like casual hookup sex. And it's not, and there are plenty of men out there who aren't like, they might hook up once, but like, what does it mean? It can get complicated when you start having regular sex with one person without an emotional attachment. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, that's something I just would rather avoid. So it may not be about rejecting you. It just might be like, he might be rejecting the situation or
maybe he's overthinking
like overthinking about with friends being involved. So like if you're worried about your ego, there's plenty of things that you can like make it not about you being rejected.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it as a rejection at all.
I think your next text is
do you want to have sex? Like, imagine she just doubles down.
Just emphasize.
I think we need to understand kind of what your intention is. Like, what do you want out of this? You know,
I would want to have casual sex and I would want him to respond in that way. And, you know, I almost wish he responded in a more like definite way so that I could be like, okay, he definitely doesn't want to like ever again. But now I'm like, okay, I don't think he does, but like, who knows?
Well,
so that's best case scenario, but like, I don't know.
No, yeah. And then what's worst case scenario? Like what? Well, no, I think that's fine. That's what she wants.
Right.
Worst case scenario would be him saying no. Like,
and are you fine with being like, how friendly, how are you with this guy? Like, is it like,
are you crushing on him though? Like, do you want to have casual sex, but like you're open to maybe exploring something more serious with him?
Do you want a relationship
or is it really
eventually?
just sex? Because if it really is just sex, I say every time you guys see each other, if it happens, like how it happened the first time, you know? So I just kind of want to know if you're crushing on him, like if you really do have intentions of maybe exploring something more serious.
Would you like the casual sex to lead into a relationship, like eventually?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I want that at all. I mean, it's like I do like him as a person, but I'm not interested in anything more. But I mean, I guess
don't
that
have
always
to at all. It just
then I think you've said what you wanted.
Yeah.
I think honestly, you have a couple options. If you want to like maintain like a relationship of any kind with this guy and like break off awkwardness, you could text him literally anything about something else other than sex and just like leave it there. It's not a big. You're both adults. You've had sex already. Don't make a thing of it. Also, there's an option of just not responding and wait till you run into him again. You've already hooked up, and I think to Erika's point, there's a good chance like. He might, in your perfect world, is like having a regular hookup. It's possible he's like uncomfortable with these conversations. There's maybe a little immaturity from him, and he's maybe fine with hooking up, but not wanting to talk about
via text. Maybe.
hooking up, right? So he's just
in the moment kind of guy.
If that is the case, then you have to ask yourself after the second or third time, like, how realistic is it to like keep hooking up with someone who doesn't want to communicate at all about what it is you're doing?
Yeah.
So just in the future, if you do get a chance to hook up with this guy, be mindful of someone who's like avoiding having an adult conversation that needs to be had about like, if two people are having sex, you should talk about what some of your boundaries are. I don't care if you're in a relationship or not. Like if it's a regular thing, it's like the right thing to do is just like have some conversation around it. But
Right.
other than that, I think you're almost certainly going to probably hook up at some point again.
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe it just he's not a texter.
Official consensus, leave on red.
Yeah, I would say
I vote for leave on red and then
The next
see how it is
natural
the next time
interaction.
you guys see each other
Yeah.
and then go from
And
there.
if you want to mention it, like you'd be like, "Hey, like, oh, that was kind of weird." Like, you know, you could, if you really
you could,
wanted
you
to,
could play it off, but I vote for no.
And if you want
no
to like
text.
engage just him in general, just ask him like, what's going on this weekend? Something like kind of casual and see where he goes from there.
Okay.
But
All
just
right,
not
so-
about the sex. Let the sex go.
let that come when it comes. You know.
Yeah.
Like, don't-
Okay.
Right.
No, that you guys took that.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yes.
We hope we helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Let us know how it
Okay.
goes. All right.
I will. Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you too. Bye.
How's it going?
Hi, it's Ashley. I'm 29.
Hi, Ashley. How can
Hi.
we help?
Hey.
So I recently got back on the dating apps and I've been single for 2 years and having a lot of fun.
Great.
But I'm starting to think I'm maybe interested in a relationship. So I'm a little bit more, I'm not focused on that, but I'm like a little excited to maybe meet someone. So this person I started talking to pretty much right when I got on the apps, and we talked for about a week. Then he said, "Hey, you want to go golf?" I said, "Yeah, for sure." We set up a date and we chatted pretty consistently. I'm not a big texter, so normally I would be very annoyed with someone texting me to the extent that he did, but it was fun with him and I was really excited. We got together, we went golfing. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun. And at the end of the date, he asked me what I was up to later in the week. He wanted to get together again. I said, "Shoot me a text, we'll figure something out." The next morning, he followed up. We made plans for a couple days later on the Saturday. And we kept texting back and forth and things were good. Then on Friday, kind of early evening, I think it was about 6 p.m., he canceled. And so it's kind of a really odd reason to cancel, but he's learning how to windsurf. And it's not windy every day of the week. And he has an instructor who's only
He's at the mercy of
only
the wind.
around.
Yeah, he's at the mercy
exactly.
Yeah.
Convenient, isn't it? So he texts me
God,
saying,
what an amazing built-in excuse,
Yeah,
though. If you were like
yeah.
that Machiavellian, just tell them you're studying windsurfing.
I'm picking up wind.
And that means at any moment you
that
can get out of
excuse,
literally
Everything,
anything.
yeah.
The wind
Yeah.
picked up. I gotta go.
Yeah,
Wind
but it's
picked up.
not windy
Yeah, I
out
gotta
here.
head
Yeah,
out.
but no, out like I
I prepaid for the
out,
classes. I
Yeah.
prepaid for the classes.
you know, on the water it's windy. I know like there's no flags flying anywhere, but on the water I swear it's very windy. Anyways, go ahead.
that was exactly how I read the situation. I was thinking, this is so convenient. So anyways, yeah, he had to cancel. It was the night before. So I think I said something like, "Ooh, night before cancellation, pretty ballsy." Just teasing. And then he responded back saying, his instructor's only around so long. And when he says it's going to be windy, he's got to head out. So I just left it at something like, "Have fun, whatever." And you have the text. But I guess my thing is, he knew after, so Sunday I was going to be busy. And then Monday I'm in Vancouver right now for work, so I'm not around. And then I'm going to San Diego for a couple of weeks vacation. So he knows I'm not going to be around. And initially when he planned that date right away, I was like, this is a good sign. He wants to make sure he can hang out with me before I go. Those are all good signs. And everything else prior to that was great. So my initial reaction when I read this text was, he's not interested anymore, right? Because if someone's interested, they're going to figure it out. He knows I have plans on Sunday, but he might say, let's grab coffee or let's do this or whatever. So my typical reaction would just be to send that message and let it be and not talk to him again. But because I've been dating around for 2 years, and now I'm kind of interested in something more serious, and I really liked him. What I want to get out of this text that I'm going to send, which is going to be out of my comfort zone, is just clarity, basically. This is going to sound a little sociopathic. I still want to stay in control if I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sociopathic. It's just an honest
Erika understands
feeling,
that
and
fully.
we appreciate your honesty. I think we need to stop like trying to assign labels to either to ourselves or people for like showing emotion and just being honest for like, I'm angry, I'm sad, I want revenge. Like these are like
normal things.
These are normal things we all feel, and we're trying to assign like labels. Narcissist, like, sociopath. Like we're out there. I'm a gaslighting son of a bitch.
Yeah,
like, I don't like.
It's all my fault.
Yeah. So no, it's okay. You know, like you felt like rejected, a little frustrated,
a
little led on, a little like misled. So I want to read the text message that we're referring to. So he says, we're gonna bring B4-4 back into the mainstream, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop us. Why would you guys finish that whole puzzle in one day? And then he writes in parentheses, I have no concept of puzzle time. Ha 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 ha. Remember that one time I was talking about economic models and you were talking about modeling models? Good times, crying emoji face. I particularly like the reading materials. You should do it. Is he drunk? Like why?
Okay, this needs some explanation.
Some context to this.
We have
little inside jokes.
10 things. Yeah, they're all jokes, and none of them are the way that they were read out.
This all felt normal to you.
Yeah, because we have 100 conversations going on at once. So this is like, I mean, it was a lot, but it was.
He's like answering,
but it's making sense. Yes.
Yeah,
right.
different things with each bubble.
Got it.
And then like 3 hours later.
3 hours later, he sends the screenshot of the weather, followed by. Unfortunately, I need to cancel our Greta date tomorrow. The wind will be blowing, and I gotta get good before my guy leaves. Ha ha. Rain check? ?
And then you say, ha ha ha. What can I say? I hear what I want to hear. Whoa. Night before cancellation. Ballsy move. Okie dokie. and then
he responds.
When someone reads it out, oh my god.
Ha ha ha. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. When the wind is going to be good, basically just tells me it's go time because his friend, I'm assuming.
Because the wind.
Yeah, he's his instructor.
And then Saturday morning, you say, duty calls. Have fun.
And what else has been going on? That's it? That's where we're at?
Yeah, so that was Saturday morning. Obviously, it's been like about 2 days and haven't heard anything. No, I assumed I was going to hear something immediately.
Yeah, when he was done windsurfing.
Windsurfing.
Yeah, and when he's windsurfing, he's out of service and he's gone for a day. So I thought, okay, by Sunday at the latest, but then nothing Sunday. So.
Well, because I think the instinct is if he canceled, then he should be the one to follow up with a replanning.
Yeah, I think he did say rain check though, and maybe because you didn't respond to that, you know, you kind of were just like, okay, have fun, you know, instead of being
he knows I'm away as well. Mm-hmm. But I mean,
still, he should be like checking in at least.
How many dates have you been on with this guy?
Only one. So expectations are low, but I liked it.
Have you hooked up?
No.
Knowing that you only went on one date and you can only talk so much, if I'm him, I probably would have read your text as to be a little strong in terms of a rejection. Not that you didn't have a right to be frustrated, but I probably would have been like, oh, geez, fuck. Like, okay. Like, just kind of, I would have probably, here's the thing. If he canceled, anyone who cancels sort of them being actual sociopath, there's a little bit of guilt, right? There's a little of like, oh, fuck, like I got to cancel. Like I don't even want to do this thing, but I do feel bad, right? So so if he feels bad at all, and then he's like, says, you know, and if I'm nitpicking him, I'm saying, rain check, why don't you just say, how about tomorrow? How about like,
make the plan.
Yeah. So like, definitely that would be my response, but I'm nitpicking him. But like for you, when you kind of come back a little bit more kind of like, fuck you, buddy. I'm just more like, Jesus. Like, all right. Like, I didn't
say that at all. I didn't say that. But
no, I know you didn't say that. I'm saying I could see how he could 100%. Take that way.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, man, I barely know you. We went on one date and you're giving me shit because I want to windsurf. what is it? I'm just saying, like, I've had those types of thought thinking, well, if she doesn't want me windsurfing now, when is she ever going to want me to windsurf? Like, it's just, there's a little bit, I think at most situations, you want to feel like you're dating someone, at least at first, can be kind of carefree and casual and not sweating the small stuff. If I'm being honest, I might be a little kind of like, I might roll my eyes at your response. Yeah. And if I had little information to go on, I might be less motivated. I could go from excited about our first date to being like, I don't know, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. Like, he might be thinking, I'm not like done with her, but like maybe I don't want to see her until she's back in town or until, you know what I'm saying? Like if I put myself in his shoes with the information I'm getting, I could see myself like going from exciting about our date and planning a date to like, I need to think about this for a while. I need to sit on this. I need to like wonder, because now he's working with new information because he is going to judge your response to you disappointing him. And that is a big like indicator of how people are. Like we all know consciously or subconsciously in a relationship that we're going to disappoint the people we're in relationships with. And nothing makes a situation harder is to feel like you always like anytime you disappoint your partner, you're going to get punished for it. Like, I've been in those relationships. It's not fun. Like, and I think we've all been in those relationships to a certain degree, and we have a little hesitation. So like, he could be wildly overthinking this and making it a bigger deal on his end, just like you might have made it a slightly bigger deal than it actually was. Because like maybe you have been blown off or ghosted the night before, and for a bullshit reason, right? And so I just think even though in this moment you were justified to feel the way you did, it might have helped you out to give him the benefit of the doubt for someone you knew little about, like you definitely, you assumed the worst.
Which is like a self-protective instinct and
Totally.
so natural.
Yeah. So natural.
And I'm reading these texts and I'm like, oh, but you sent okie dokie with an exclamation point. Like, that's not they're not mad. Like, that's great.
No. Okie dokie sounded like to him, he read that as okie dokie. Yeah.
No, but the thing is, what do we always say? Yep. You read it in your in a different. Yeah, so like for Amanda, that's very that's positive, but for Nick, it's negative, and it's hard because
also think of
you don't know him that well.
But also, let's just be real. Like when you did send that, you were frustrated. So I'm sure that really is how you felt when you were like okie doke. Like I would do the same thing. Like fuck you.
Totally.
Like you're ditching me. Like have fun. Like I would do the same thing. So
I would almost expect that
we're talking to someone that did send it. Yeah. So so if you really were like a little frustrated and were a little annoyed, then he could have easily received it as that, and it was justified. And
hey, text office hours, no one's necessarily doing anything wrong unless they're saying something inappropriate. That's the point of Texas office hours.
Yes.
We're talking about like Texas
texting.
Hook 'em.
We're in Texas.
Texting office hours is that like we text with a lot of assumptions and very little communication, like information, not body language. We're just all with words that are wildly misinterpreted. So like there's no judgment on either his or your side. We're just
I would do the same thing.
We're nitpicking here. But to Erika's
also comes off angry, but I for sure was disappointed. And when I said ballsy, like I kind of felt like I was busting his balls a bit, but I didn't feel like I was being mean.
I don't
in
think
a
so
normal
either.
situation. Yeah, in a normal situation, like I expect people a night before cancellation, whether it's a friend, family, anyone. To me, that's like a time thing. Like I only have so much time and I make time for people. Mm-hmm. So it is an issue. Totally. I mean, I could have pretended and tried to play it cooler, but to me that I do not like, no one wants to be canceled on. You make time for things. You don't just have it open.
That's one of those things that you could have tabled and you could have remembered that he did this. And given that like it's someone you don't know anything about, that you're like, hey, I've limited information. Now I had a really good first date. That's good. I got rescheduled the night before, not so good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, neither of them defined who he was or how he would be as a partner. They're both information, neither of which, like, made you want to, like, marry him or, like, say that he's the worst person in the world. So you could have tabled both, got more information, and then, like, you know what? You could have, like, at date 5, you could have been like, that one time, like, you canceled on me and you've had more rapport, been like, now that I know you better, like, yeah, it kind of bugged me. Like, how do you feel about like canceling the night before? You could have just had a conversation about it rather than like saying that. And also, like, keep in mind when you're saying like, and just from a texting standpoint, I think it's important to bring up, like, even though you meant okie dokie to be fun, when you're feeling defensive, any of us, right? If someone makes you, if they like criticize you or you know, critique you or accuse you, it's our nature to immediately go, wait, no, I'm defensive. So the next thing they say, especially we do this all the time in fights, well, I didn't mean it that way. It's like, well, I'm already defensive. So right now, if I'm in a defensive state of mind, my guard is up. So my response is, I'm gonna assume I need to defend myself. So when he reads okie dokie, your text right before was, whoa, night before cancellation, ballsy move. That's going to put him on the defensive.
Well, also, I think he was already on it because he sent the screenshot. Like, he was already trying to be like, I have evidence. I promise this is real.
He anticipated your disappointment, sent you the weather, then canceled, and
he went outside with a flag and he was like, I'm telling you, it's real.
And then you confirmed the fact that you might be disappointed with a text that sounds like you are disappointed, which again, justified to do.
Normal.
So the okie dokie is like
not saving.
Is not
so childish.
You don't even see it.
Not even. It's just not saving it. Like you. I think that's the point. The important thing to bring out in this is that your intention of sending the okie dokie was to like cool off what you were sending. It was like, I'm not trying to make a big deal. Okie dokie, like I'm chill. It's cool. I'm letting you know I'm a little annoyed, but also like no big deal. Like that's how you meant it. And I'm willing to bet saw okie dokie is like a kind of passive aggressive, like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I feel strongly about this is that I think he could have easily had just as fun as you had with him on the first date, been just as excited. He could have had this unique hobby of his, windsurfing, that came up, and
he just spent a whole bunch of money on it.
And you did this small thing, and you didn't do a big, like, I think this is also, by the way, completely salvageable.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay.
Right? But I think
And I don't want to be mean about his hobby. I love that he does stuff like
listen,
that.
Of course.
I think he went from, there's a good chance he went from like nice and feeling really kind of nice and warm about you from like an interest, like, and then you cooled off that interest a little bit, right? But you didn't like kill it. You're just, now he's just like, I don't know. Like, women talk about the ick all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, as a guy, this could have easily given him the ick of like,
like I'm getting sent to the doghouse.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck. I just like, really? I've been on one date and I'm getting shit.
He also could have just canceled and like not said rain check either, which would have been even worse. You know what I mean? Like, he clearly was, I think, still showing you that he had interest. Although we could nitpick and be like, well, he should have given, like, he knows how long you're going to be there. He should have, am I okay? He could. Am I having a stroke? Am I having a stroke? He could have, offered to do something on Sunday or whatever, knowing that you're there. So I get that part, but I think that it's important that he canceled and he did say rain check, meaning he did want to continue. So nothing happened between that part. I think it was just your response to him that kind of led to him not responding and kind of backing off a little bit. So
he could have tried to reschedule with that text, but also he could have said rain check, hoping you would say yes. Again, he sent the weather first. He anticipated your disappointment, right? Like,
and can I ask a question? If you weren't going away, right? Like, now for the next 3 weeks, like, would you have been maybe even more okay with him rescheduling because you have time?
You have time.
But you wanted to get in like another day and then being able to go on that while you're away, like talking to him about the date. Or
how long are you going away for?
I mean, I'll pop back for a couple days, but he's away when I'm back. So I'm away for 3 weeks. He and I cross over for about 2 days, but it's going to be a crazy 2 days for me. So I'm not probably going to see him. That 100% made it worse. And I think also what I'm really concerned about in general right now is I have enjoyed dating so much and I haven't been interested in people, which has given me the upper hand for the past 2 years with basically everyone I've dated. And I'm scared that now I'm showing that disappointment. I'm acting like desperate instead of having that carefree, like when I'm dating 10 people and you cancel, it's like, cool, who cares? Like, see you later. So I'm kind of like, especially with this conversation, I'm like, oh, I'm giving off terrible energy.
Well, that's the shitty part about liking someone. We talk so much about like keeping your power, not giving it away, but there's something intoxicating about meeting someone who you want to like give that power to and feel that vulnerability because it's exciting, and at the same time, like it's a really tough balance. So you've drafted a potential response that you want to send.
Yeah, I didn't think too hard on it, okay?
Okay, good. Well, no, it's fine. It's
Let's
fine.
hear it.
There's no
okie dokies from what I hear. No, I'm joking. I haven't seen it.
Maybe a smiley face emoji.
I haven't seen it.
We'll see.
No judgment.
None.
Like,
None at all. Very normal situation.
I have, again, it's always easier when you're not emotionally invested. I've wanted to send stuff like this before. You want to write, hey, I was kind of bummed not to hear from you again. Can I ask if you just lost interest or what's up? I definitely do not think you should send that.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Okay.
One, and most importantly,
She's
is
like,
that
damn,
I think if you're still interested, I think this is completely salvageable.
Easily.
And like to assume he's lost interest or to call it out is like
You don't even
not
need to.
Insecure?
well, it's just unnecessary, and like it could potentially
Like put words in his mouth
Put
or
words in
make
his
it
mouth.
worse than it is.
Exactly.
and make him not interested, even though in this very moment he could still very well be again interested. I doubt he's not interested.
Yes.
He just might not be as interested, but there is a difference between not interested and dying to go out with you again.
Yeah.
Also, even if he's not interested, like you don't need feedback from this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you went on one
Yeah, I
date,
guess.
like you don't need to get
I think you'll find it
his
out either way.
opinion about why he's not interested in you isn't all that valid. It's information you don't really need to know.
It's not
Like
closure.
some person you went on one date with is going to give you like a bunch of like feedback on why they didn't like you. Do any of us need this information?
Yeah.
Like you're not fucking compatible. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
can you imagine if we like surveyed every fucking first date we went on and be like, so like, what was it about me? And like, I don't know if we need to be walking around with that type of criticism. So like, this is
You just
not,
don't need that on your heart.
you don't need
know?
you don't need his fucking 2 cents
Yeah.
if he's no longer interested in you. Like you went on one date with this guy. So that's why, for those reasons, I don't think you should send this text. I think if you're interested in going out with him again, I also think the fact that you are out of town for 3 weeks, like this, like if you're interested in this type of thing, like you could have some text conversations with him. You could build this rapport. FaceTime over text. You could like, I think the next text.
Yeah, but I'd rather wait.
That's a personal, okay.
100%.
That's a personal choice.
I don't want to pen pal for 3 weeks. I got stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to do that, right?
Busy girl.
Yeah.
So
it's normal.
Would you want to do like one FaceTime or something?
What about word with friends?
I don't
No,
know.
I'm joking.
I'm gonna be doing I don't know. I just think that I also don't want to. There's no reason for me to try to jump back in that because I have people.
All right, I know
Vancouver
exactly
I'm
what you
hanging out
should
with,
send then.
San Diego.
I know exactly what you should send. Your next text should be, hey, how was windsurfing?
Yes.
Ask him about his hobby that he gives a shit in.
Yeah.
Show an interest in the thing that he shows an interest in. Also, without like making a big deal about it, it will like surprise him and think that like maybe you were in fact like okie dokie.
Maybe
with
he was reading
you know
it
what I'm
wrong.
saying?
Right.
Like, maybe he was like getting a little like you're just like, oh,
Make him think he was wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do
like,
that.
how
Reverse
like
He's like,
psychology.
let's manipulate the shit out of this
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
No, but you will surprise him, catch him off guard, and like maybe just more than anything, you showing an interest in the thing he shows an interest in will be exciting for him to hear. It will like basically like counter what you last text.
Yeah.
And then your next follow up to that is, I know we're busy, but I'd still love to reschedule that date when I'm back in town and see what he says.
Yes.
Exactly. Because then
I agree.
Then you can at least hear how he's responding back to that. If he's just like, oh, it was good, and then that was it, then maybe But if he's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to reschedule it. I agree.
And given that like you don't maybe want to make it sound natural, your first text is to ask him how it was. Yeah. Give him an opportunity to respond to that.
Okay.
And then hit him with the
Let's plan a date for when I'm back.
Yeah, I'd love.
Still excited for that rain check.
Yeah,
I'd love.
Yeah.
Well, you never actually confirmed that you were excited at all, so you should let him
That's
know.
good. If you say still excited, then it's like
But I
Still
think-
excited? Oh, you missed the part that I was very
I'm
excited.
sorry.
I put an exclamation on the okie dokie.
let's-
Obviously, I was excited.
Let's also gaslight him.
I only okie dokie when I'm excited. That's the only time I do.
the only time I use
Let's
that
make him
word.
believe that you actually responded.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh, you didn't get that
periodically
one?
emphasize okie dokie.
All right, so let's draft this first message. Let's put a little humor in it.
Like I feel like the how is windsurfing definitely going to be the question that ends it.
Yeah.
Maybe like a fun, like a hiya. I don't know what people think.
Hey,
There's no bad ideas in brainstorming, you guys.
Maybe
I feel like that's a little
you?
okie dokie.
yeah, hey, whoa, it might be. It might be. No A's at the end of any greetings.
Why
or-
can't we just do like, hey, comma, how was windsurfing? Question mark.
Yeah.
How was the
Yeah.
wind blowing on
Yeah.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Was right?
Hi.
Hey, send a gif.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
trying
know.
to think
No,
how I
so,
would
I
type
mean-
it.
I just
How do
think
you-
basic is good. Hey,
Yeah, like a
how was
neutral,
windsurfing?
Yeah.
neutral greeting.
It's only
and then-
been like a couple days.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Do you usually start with hey when you text him? Like, what's your usual opener?
I've never texted him first, so I never
Ooh.
said
Oh,
hey.
you know, this would be even better.
I've
Good
never
practice.
texted anyone.
Okay, well, you
guy
need, like
first,
just in
and-
general,
Ooh.
stop. Like that's weird.
No, but
What?
okay.
Send a
Well,
tag.
I want to talk. I know I'm not going to probably get to do this again, but that's a whole other.
But I'm just, but
Question.
it's just like it should never be that like one-sided. Like communication.
But I think
two-way
that
street.
works with guys. The more aloof
The
you
more
are,
we're learning here
it
with
really
with
seems
I'm
like-
telling you, like the more we're learning
The
about
second that Nick sent we worked on it together after I thought my thing was dead, that man responded in like 30 seconds.
yeah,
and I want to hear how the date goes though, because they might still go on the date, but I don't know. I feel like that's always been my game thus far, but obviously I'm still single, so I'm willing to learn.
Yeah, I would be open to like text if you want.
Communicating.
If you
someone.
feel
Yeah.
something, then
Because you feel
send
good
it.
when he reaches out first, like if it's the
Yeah.
same way,
Yeah.
you know. So
You have acknowledged a sense of like that power matters to you. It matters to all of us, and like I think Amanda talked about this earlier. I think some women can derive power. You talked about this, I think, last asked Nick, but like the feeling of being in control that you are being chased, right? So then you can decide when you respond, and knowing they're on edge because they're chasing you, there's a little bit of power there, and maybe you're
Yeah.
just comfortable with that, and like changing your behavior is something you're trying to avoid just because it's in your playbook. But I think when we are all one-sided with this, we're like, it's like anything. If we have like this, like I only do this,
Yeah.
well then there's a
Yeah.
bunch of that you're not doing that is like closing the door on other people. Because like there might be plenty of guys out there that it's a two-way street. But like, I don't know, like she didn't respond. I don't like,
Mhm.
or like she should respond in this moment and she's not responding. Or like, I don't know, I feel like I'm always bugging her. I'm always reaching out. She never initiates a
Yeah.
conversation. I don't want to be bugging this
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
It's not the same these days for guys in chasing. I don't think guys feel as comfortable like aggressively chasing someone they really like the same way they did 10 or 15 years ago at the risk of being called creepy.
Yeah.
And I just think it's
Yeah.
a little different out there. So I do think we have to stop being so black and white when it comes to like I only do this. I never do that.
And it also like alleviates all the pressure too of like
Yeah.
you're doing this by your playbook and like how you want to respond, or he should text me first or whatever. If you're just casual and just, you know, there's less pressure and it's better.
Yeah.
It feels better,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
You could say, if you're trying to like make it lighthearted, is refer to one of your many inside jokes and be like, you know what I was thinking, blah 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 about our inside joke. Also, how was windsurfing? Hope
could
you
do
had
that.
fun.
Oh,
100%.
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Or like something popped up that reminded me of this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if there's an
actually.
inside joke,
Yeah.
you can snap a
Yes.
pic of.
Yeah, and then how was windsurfing?
Yeah.
Hope you guys
Also,
had
yeah. Totally.
Do we like that better than just simply
Yes.
how was
fun.
windsurfing?
I do.
I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah,
I
because
think
then it's
so.
like really reopening the conversation.
Yeah, it's why you thought about him.
Yeah.
And, like the inside joke is like something that brought up the idea of why you thought about him. Maybe like
Yeah.
you go on one date, it's very easy for people to lose momentum.
Mhm.
Personal things come up,
Yeah.
work comes up. You guys aren't a priority in each other's lives yet. It's more normal than not normal to like lose momentum this early. So now you're like letting him know why, even though the reality is you actively chose to kill the momentum, like you're letting him know is more like organic and you were just busy, but now you thought about him. Also, how is windsurfing?
Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
interested in what you have to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And then he responds, and then you hit him with, I'd like to plan that second date.
Will you keep us updated? I'm very invested.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to send this right after. And it's weird that I'm like scared to do that, but shows maybe how much of a baby I am. But
yeah, you're just scared. You're just scared of him not responding.
He's going to respond so fast.
Yeah, I think
he's going to be so happy.
Yeah.
He's going to be ready for that sing along.
He's like, well, I've been in the hospital for 2 days because I broke both of my legs.
Actually, windsurfing
That's the only
terrible.
reason. Yeah,
I was blown away.
So yeah, my first big wind.
All right, well, we
wish you the best.
We're dying to find out.
Wish you the best.
Yeah, I'm invested.
Thank you so
I really
much.
want to know
I'm
what
excited.
happened.
Okay, thanks. I love this podcast. Generally ask Nick, but also I know you're looking for feedback on Text Nick, and obviously I think it's a great idea.
All right, well, thank
and
you
I love
very much.
listening to it. So I really enjoy listening to other people.
We appreciate it. Thank you so
nice
much.
meeting
Okay,
you.
thanks.
Good luck.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Bye.
We've done the Lord's work.
We have.
Oh, good.
Wow.
I'm pretty confident. I feel like we're going to be 3 for 3 for shooting shots and getting
I'll
dates.
I will really be really disappointed if he doesn't respond because like I think we're 100% right. He should respond.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
I think everything was perfect until the response that he received, you know?
Yeah.
Because obviously if it was something she did on a date and they were losing interest, like he wanted to see her again, you know? So I think something happened with the way he received the text. That's all.
He sent the weather.
Poor guy. He was like,
babe,
before she gets.
He's like, babe's gonna be mad. I need to let her know that it's windy out.
Let me screenshot that.
Honest, he wasn't like, I gotta go on with my motorcycle club to the bar. He's like, I'm going windsurfing.
Right.
This might be like my bar is far too low, but it was still like the night before. This wasn't like 30 minutes before.
Yes. Could be worse.
Like
it was 24 hours before.
Yeah, like there could have been multiple other things.
For other people who like have been in situations where we have gotten frustrated, it's easy to like.
Just
from her point of view, I can understand why it's like we're sitting here talking and she's just like, oh, I never thought of it that way or considered it. But like we have been screwed over by people. We've been ghosted by people. We've gone on dates with people who've gotten excited about us and then the next day like completely shifted how they've seen us before. So like I understand where she's coming from.
It's kind of hard to let down your guard.
And the text message that she drafted that I said was a terrible idea, I've drafted these messages.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
it's making it too serious.
You know? Yeah. And I want people to know that, like, you hurt my feelings and, like, it's fine. Just give me some feedback because I can take it.
Yeah.
Right.
I can fucking take it.
Tell me the truth. Tell me.
I'm a man.
What do you think about me?
Just tell me. Like,
He's like,
fine. I'm totally fine.
And the other person's like, oh, I had no idea you were even thinking about this. Like, I didn't see it at that, like, all.
Yeah.
So awkward.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I wonder he's definitely going to respond.
He's going to respond.
Have you ever had like your friends, people you know, like acquaintances text and they don't text you back and you want to like ever text them and be like,
what the fuck?
Like, I know you saw
something?
it. Yeah.
Are you mad at me?
Yeah.
Yep. I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Been there.
It's not
especially
all
recently
it's
too.
Not all about us.
Yeah.
What makes your relationship work?
What makes my relationship work? I think laughing and communication.
Yeah. We are
honestly
from my side. We are just best friends. Like I know it sounds corny, but I consider her like my best friend. No matter how long I've known anyone else,
I see him as an extension of my family, and I saw that pretty early in our relationship. And family is really important to most people, everyone, especially to me. So it was really important for me to find someone that could get along with my family, who fits right in and is an extension of my family. That's essentially what you're looking for in a relationship. So yeah, but definitely communication, I think.
And the extension of yourself, because what I kind of took from that, and only because like I feel like I've experienced it in my current relationship, I used to be someone who prided myself in my younger, I suppose, less compatible, slightly more toxic relationships of like, I can fight for this. I can fight for love. I can make this work, and love conquers all. And love is supposed to be hard, and et cetera, et cetera. And those all are true at times in relationships. It's like you have to get through things. But what I've learned, and what I think is really important, is like that when you guys talk about being best friends, it's like it's effortless, it's easy. More often than not, you enjoy doing things together than not. And I'm assuming you guys have also your things that you enjoy as individuals.
Yeah.
But that is something like while you do, it's not like you. I think some couples have to figure out how things they can do together. Because like, I don't know, hey, like we need to do things together. So let's try to make it work. But when they really are happy is when they're doing things that they enjoy that are not with their partner. And I've been in those types of relationships and it feels like, what are we doing wrong? Why don't we love each other? I love you. Like you do care about someone, but like being around them is just like hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's something I've learned to like, it's a breath of fresh air to really enjoy being around the person that we love. Because like, I don't know, I think weirdly enough, that takes time to figure out. Like the honeymoon phase, the spark, the excitement, the nervousness early in relationships.
So easy.
In fact, that we talk, like, it's a very uncomfortable thing. And we derive a lot of value from like being uncomfortable, like and excited. Oh, I'm nervous. I get butterflies. These are all like moments of like not a normal resting state. Yeah. And yet we put so much value in feeling that way about the people early on. Yeah. But in a relationship, we want to feel like content and comfortable and safe and not nervous and not anxious.
Yeah.
100%.
And so like it takes time to figure that out with people that we are dating. All the more reason is to like, just like, let's just give each other some space and peace. We love you guys.
We love you.
No, we love you guys.
You guys are also easy to be around.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
And
it's so funny because I always say that. Like I will openly admit that. I'm like, I feel like we're just that couple that just gets along with everyone.
And we want to
every
be
couple.
that couple. We want to get along with everyone. We don't want to like, maybe that group, but like everyone.
Yeah, you guys are really fun to hang out with.
Thank you.
At Coachella.
Yeah, it was a good time. Too. That was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah. We felt normal around you guys.
I love that. Maybe it's because we're from Jersey.
Yeah.
Also, Scott was the one who was like, no, Harry Styles, he fucks.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know about him. I'm like, man, let me tell you. I went to it before all the hype, and I'm telling you, he deserves the hype. Yeah.
We're a full-on Harry Styles fan
Love
account.
that.
Oh, yeah.
We like to believe that Harry Styles would love to answer relationship questions.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that.
He even listens to the podcast. Yeah. He's like,
he's missing out.
We have confirmed that I did, in fact, see him running.
Wait, really?
In here, LA? California?
Yeah, because I saw him. It's going to be the story. I was running.
He's like, I love telling this story.
I was running like a year. This is like a year and a half ago. I was running, and I got to a stop sign. I run through them, and then a car came up, and like this old Mercedes Benz, and I was sweating with my shirt off, and I locked eyes with this guy. He noticed me.
I love that detail.
I noticed.
I was looking good.
I just wanted
slow motion.
This is like dripping.
Slow motion.
He can't forget.
And I locked eyes with this person, but I was like in a pretty good pace, so I didn't like stop. But I was just like, "Is that Harry Styles?"
Oh my god!
And then I was like, no, that's crazy. But I was like, it must have been.
I would have freaked out.
And then I DM'd him when I got home, and I was like, hey, was that you I locked eyes with? Anyways, big fan. Never responded, so I just kind of whatever.
So it wasn't him.
I told this story on a podcast a couple episodes ago, and days earlier from today, he was seen in that exact same Mercedes-Benz driving around the city. And like, what are the chances it wasn't him?
It's him.
I think it was him.
It was Harry.
It feel? I'm sure you've changed since
since
that locking of the eyes.
Did we locked eyes?
He's like, I've been running that same route in hopes.
He's like, just to see
Well, I wonder
that black Mercedes.
Is he a Basher fan? Did he like my body? Was it my gait? I know he runs.
Was he a fan of my body?
Yeah,
that's
fine.
Yeah.
If Harry Styles,
he's just like standing in front of an ice cream shop.
Do I
it's
have
just
a
the ice
chance?
cream. He's just
dude,
like,
if Harry Styles like told me I had a nice body, I don't.
That's my
whether
resume.
he's
That's
on
on my
not.
That's on my
That's a
resume.
notch on my belt. Like
for sure.
it's on my resume.
Yeah, some man love.
Yeah. That's
all you need.
I don't know. I'd like to think it's true. Anyways, Erika,
true.
Scott, what an absolute joy.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you so
We
much.
had
for
so
having
much
us.
fun.
Next time, you'll have to recap a Bachelor episode.
Oh yeah.
When
Okay.
it's-
Okay. I'll have to
when it's
start.
back on.
Yeah.
With that.
Or not.
No, I'll start back up.
I feel like
I'll start back up. People were loving my commentary when I was really watching it a couple seasons ago. So I might get back into
I
it.
feel
Might
like-
get crazy.
I feel like
Tune back in.
I
Come out
feel
of
like-
retirement.
Yeah, for us. for us.
I'll do it for you.
You'll be doing us a favor.
For sure.
It's a favor.
100%.
Please let my audience know where they can follow you, digest all the amazing, hilarious content you're putting out
I'm
there.
on TikTok and Instagram, and it's at Erika X Priscilla.
And I will be featured in all of those.
An extension.
Yeah, an extension.
An extension.
I'm Scotty's days off if you want to come see me, but Erika's the main attraction for sure.
He's always on there.
You're pretty good.
I appreciate that.
You're pretty good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, at first you're like, I don't know if I need to pay attention to this man. Then he hits you, and then
Right,
and
exactly.
It's like, oh
Like,
shit,
captivated.
Scott! Like,
Captivating.
I appreciate it.
Thank you
I'm a
so
big fan.
much.
Thank you guys for listening. If you are tuning in for the first time to listen to Erika and Scott, welcome. We have our Ask Nicks on Monday where we give more relationship, situationship advice. We hit people with the hard truths of their situation and hopefully make them feel more empowered. That's really our goal.
Love that.
We want everyone to call
Love
to feel
it.
like a little bit more in control,
Hell yeah.
a little less
That's what we
helpless.
Hell yeah. That's
A
all
lot
you
of people
need.
feel that way after listening. I don't know if that's for you,
I feel it
I
right now.
but I think maybe
Just gonna say it.
give us a listen. And then a lot of pop culture, reality TV on Tuesdays, and going deeper with always an amazing guest on Wednesdays. Next week is the big. He DM'd me back that he was excited.
Let's hear it.
Josh Peck.
Sweet. Love that.
And
Love it.
We're gonna dare him to say something he's never said before.
Whoa.
If he cancels, you can be like, okie dokie.
Yeah.
Exclamation point.
Okie dokie.
He's done a lot of podcasts, so we.
Yeah, no, I've heard some of his
I-
podcasts.
yeah,
I
He's
feel
doing
like
great.
I have to come up with. I need him to say something new.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Love
sure.
that.
It's a challenge, an opportunity,
Yes.
and he's
You're
got a
gonna
new
go for
movie he's in. We can talk about.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, sweet. I
Shout
didn't know
out to
that.
Josh.
He's recording with Christopher Nolan.
Wow. Look at him.
Okay.
Mr. Peck.
He
Killing it.
one career is going one way, the other
Yeah.
not so
I wanted
much.
to talk about
Yeah.
that.
That's what it is.
I just said it.
Also,
We'll cut
let's
that
talk
out.
about it, man.
Cut that out.
See you next week.
See ya.
Hey guys, thanks for watching, but before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos like our Mondays Ask Nick for your favorite relationship stories and advice, and our Tuesday Bachelor Recaps. See you next time.